and others in the San Joaquin Valley.
And of course, when people think about asthma or, any respiratory problems, they think of spring, right? But winter comes with a lot of issues as well. Why is that?
Well, people think of spring because of allergies, but and asthma can be an allergic disease, but it's not always. So there's 3 different types of asthma, sort of the idea of exercise stress-induced asthma, those kids that run around and start coughing. So that's not allergic asthma, that's different. Some people wake up in the middle of the night, can't breathe, feel like they're wheezing. Choking, that's nocturnal asthma, and then you have your garden variety allergic asthma. In the winter, allergic asthma is really more triggered by pollen. So believe it or not, when it's dry, we have a lot of trees that still flower, and we have this pollen in the air, and some grasses as well, and it just starts blowing around, right? And if you're allergic, it's a big if, then you're going to have symptoms, stuffy nose, runny eyes, and if you have asthma, you're going to be tight in the chest and you're going to cough. Some people say, oh, I just have an allergic cough. That doesn't exist. You actually have asthma.
And what are the symptoms? Because, like you said, some people might think it's just a cough, but what are the symptoms people should be looking for?
So the #1 symptom for asthma is actually cough. So cough variant asthma is the most common kind. Wheezing usually comes later down the road, but cough is #1. And then some people never cough or wheeze, they just get short of breath. Their chest goes really silent. People say, what's wrong with you? I don't hear any wheezing, you're not coughing. And for the person experiencing it, for the first time especially, it can be pretty scary.
And of course, what will you say that is the major contributor to this type of problem?
So with wintertime asthma, the biggest trigger that we see is actually air pollution. And the majority of that air pollution is coming from all the vehicle traffic, and the exhaust from that, trucks, especially heavy-duty trucks, but cars as well, and some of the stationary sources of, factories, industries, things like that. But it's confounded by this inversion layer that sits down on the valley. Everybody saw it yesterday, with the fog rising, and it seemed like it only went to the top of the building, right? That's an inversion layer. We got relief just a little while ago with this little rain that came through, so that's nice. Flushed it all out, cleaned it out. But that wintertime particulate matter is what it really is that we're inhaling. It's bad for all of us, but it's especially dangerous for children and pregnant women. So we know now that inhaling some of this material, especially the stuff that comes from exhaust, can be very dangerous and even affect future generations' possibility of or risk for getting asthma. And in fact, researchers through the Children's Health and Air Pollution Study right here in Fresno, 7 years of study, which we were part of, and the next 5, which is my organization, CCAC, is partnering with UC Berkeley to do, we'll be continuing to look at this group of 500-600 kids who it appears that this pollution is actually causing not just more likelihood of having asthma, but also making them more likely to be obese or develop metabolic syndrome. So these are things that were not really connected to air pollution prior to the last 5 or 6 years. So that link is getting tighter and tighter, and it's a little scary.
It really is. What about the residential fireplaces? Is that
so the other piece of that that's getting better, thanks to the Air District's really amazing programs, their burn cleaner and check before you burn, and the tremendous incentives. I mean, I can't believe it, but this year, to get your fireplace changed out from wood to this natural gas, they just pay for the whole thing. It's like $3,000 or $4,000, free money. So people really ought to jump on that. But we're seeing a lot of that, but we're still seeing people that just can't seem to stop, who don't need to do it. They have heat, but they like that fireplace. And maybe for them, it's not a problem. But I always say, your freedom really stops at the end of my nose, right? So whatever you're doing can't come to my house. And fireplace smoke affects the entire community. And even one house can be the equivalent of a ton of trash burning in a day in a field. So you really have to think about, for those folks who are nearby your home, that's affecting them as well, and their children. You just really want to think about that.
Kevin, I'm glad that you mentioned that people could get help for free. They're paying them to switch this up, and people, they're not
even paying for the installation of the gas line.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't get better than that, right? People pay a lot of money for that stuff.
They really do. They do. And
just to have it, right?
No, and then if people are looking for more information, where could they go?
They should just call CCAC at 272-4874, 559 area code, obviously. Give us a call, or at sencalasthma.org. Get online, leave us an email, leave us a note. We'll get back to you. Admin@centralcalasthma.org. It's all going to be up on the screen there. It's pretty easy to
You guys can see
grab.
it there.
We're happy to talk more about that or to connect you to those resources I just talked about. The other side of this thing, by the way, is if you think you have asthma, if your child has asthma, if you know, by the way, the #1 group of people with asthma is adults, not children. 2/3 of people with asthma are adults. Think about it. Kids grow up. Quite often the asthma comes back when they're 30 or 40 years old, went into remission when they were young. So we want to keep in mind that we have a program that serves both children and adults with a home environmental inspection and an asthma home visitor community health worker who can come out and help them with that. We don't have that program in Fresno County right now. We submitted for funding from Kaiser Foundation and we're hoping to get that, but we are still operating the program in Kings, Kern, and Stanislaus, and San Joaquin, and Merced.
Perfect,
So,
Kevin. Well, hopefully you guys get that funding for Fresno because people need it here as well.
thank you. I think